Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, I've got my friend Sarah Hulme from Covem, Ladies Empowerment Circle, women's only networking events. Sarah, oh my God. Wednesday was off the hook, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wild, chaotic, all in a good.
Just to let everybody know, on Wednesday we did the brand reveal. It was currently the Ladies Empowerment Circle. Now it is Covem, and everybody loved it. And
yeah.
How are you feeling?
Honestly, I feel like it's surreal. I've not come down. I'm still on this high. Oh, my brain just needs to switch off. It's just been amazing. Feedback's been amazing. My phone's been absolutely blowing up with people who I've never even seen for years that actually weren't part of Wednesday and the brand reveal, saying, oh my God, that's genius. Absolute genius name. And obviously the brand values and everything behind it. So yeah, 100% it's been amazing.
When you were going into it, right, you were just sat there and obviously like Mark were there and stuff. You two like know it. Like, what were you feeling? Were you kind of, everybody's gonna love this, or was there a little bit of?
I knew everybody would love it. I was still a bit nervous because you're thinking, are people going to get it? But I knew you presenting it and explaining obviously all the history and the brand values. It was just completely aligned with us, and you've absolutely hit the nail on the head. It's brilliant. So yeah, feedback's been fab. Everybody loves it, and yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing because it's really massively what we needed to do.
Yeah.
100%.
So let me talk about that then. So let's start at the beginning, mate. And when did you set up LEC? When did you set up Ladies Empowerment
So
Circle?
I actually set up at Ladies Empowerment Circle nearly 3 years ago now.
Right.
So obviously going back to early days, I've been self-employed since I was 19. I obviously lived in a typical 1970s household where mum and dad were employed. So when I decided as a little girl that I wanted to be self-employed, it was like something a bit out of the norm. And my mum and dad were really supportive, but they want me to take the safe route, like all my family members had done, and just like get a job, get a pension, work all your life. And that wasn't me. So I've always been self-employed.
Doing what?
So my background is fitness, health and fitness. So I trained as a PT. So I've always obviously been in the gym space, but I'm a abuse therapist by trade. So in Bolton in the early kind of 80s, late 80s, I had 2 beauty clinics, skincare clinics in Bolton, and my ex-husband, obviously, I've been divorced a long time now, he had a really well-known gym in Bolton, so we ran that together. So anything to do with health and wellness, fitness is what I've always done. Did that until obviously I had my kids. Really kind of approached burnout, Tim, really, to be honest, because I've got 3 children, all grown up, but trying to juggle 3 businesses and a family was difficult. So yeah, sold my businesses, and then literally I've always been self-employed in varying degrees. I've had a pub, I've had a restaurant, I've had a chain of sunbed shops, I've had sandwich shops, you name it, I've done it. I've had a property rental portfolio, done everything. Loved it, but I've always networked. And one of the things I did is I've always networked, and there is so many networking groups out there. There's something for everybody, but me and my energy, there was something missing, I thought. And there's some networking groups out there that are mixed groups that are very corporate, and that's okay. Quite expensive, and there's obviously a lot of ladies only networking groups as well, but I always felt that they were either you recognise that you're in the wrong room, or they're a bit bitchy or cliquey. And I'm just like quite a high energy person, and I'm all about lifting women up. For women, whether you've got a business or not, so many people at the moment, well, it's huge, have got more than one income stream. They might have a couple of side hustles as well as a main job, and we've seen a lot of women, particularly like since COVID, transition out of corporate life. They're sick of it, they want that better life work balance, and they're setting up on their own business but haven't got a clue what to do. And I recognised that there was a gap in the market. For me, my accountant used to say to me when I was in business, Sarah, you're doing all this networking, I'm practically going to the opening of an envelope, and it's like, when are you actually going to start earning some money? Because all you're doing is spending either networking memberships or pay-as-you-go fees. So I thought, I just want to go in and first and foremost lift women up, make them feel confident. Don't care whether they've only ever been once or they come 500 times, they will get the same welcome at our group, and keep it super low cost. So that's what I did. Started 3 years ago. I said, right, Ladies Empowerment Circle is what we're going to do. It's going to be a £5. Started in Bolton, up the road here, and obviously it's just grown to where we are now, which is currently 14 franchises.
Do you ever look at it and think, fucking hell?
It's like, I look
do you
at
give
it.
Do you give yourself time, Sarah? Because you know what you're like. You're fucking on from one thing to the next.
Probably not. People tell me that. Just sit with it and just take in the moment. Probably should do that a bit more than I do. I'm just on the go. And yeah, that's always been my personality.
Because you don't take praise very well, mate, do you?
No, I'm getting better. I am getting better.
Where does that come from, not taking that praise?
It's a lot of self-limiting beliefs for me. And I think, obviously, I had a wonderful child, my twin. I've got a twin sister, and I get on really, really well with my twin sister. We're very, very close. But I think being a twin has that air of competitiveness, because my mum and dad were like, oh, right, well, I'm a bit out the norm because I wanted to be self-employed, and my sister went down more of the traditional route. So from a certain extent, childhood, probably being a bit more of a people pleaser with my mum and dad. But for me, definitely, and I think this is why the Ladies Empowerment Circle is so powerful, is one thing I massively realised, with all women are business owners, but we're all going through shit. We're running a family, we're trying to run a home, we're trying to run a business, and we've all gone through divorce, breakdown of marriage, some domestic violence, whatever that looks like, businesses that have folded up. And when I started the Ladies Empowerment Circle in business in Bolton, people coming to obviously promote the businesses, what I realised first and foremost was, actually, we're all in the same boat. We're women that are juggling 25 million plates that actually might need a space for 2 hours to oh God, I'm just in the room full of people that get me, that, I need to switch off, I need to be around positive people. And it's through that you recognise that people's traumas come out, divorce, things that's happened to me in the past. And I thought, do you know what? We're all the same. We might have gone through different things or negotiating different paths in our life, but we're all the same. We're obviously, want to run a business and earn an income, but also we need that bit of support. We need to be in a room full of women that have got each other's backs. So for me, with my limiting beliefs, very much come from an abusive first marriage, a breakdown of an abusive first marriage, constantly being told that you're not good enough. And I think I've always felt with me and my businesses, and in success is different for everybody, Tim, but for a lot of people, success is not all about having a huge income. But I always felt in everything I've done up until the point of starting the Ladies Empowerment Circle, I've never been as successful as I should have been. And I got to the stage probably 3.5 years ago, menopausal, obviously in my 50s, going through the menopause, that I thought, do you know what? There's got to be more to life than this. I've got so much more I can give and offer people. And yes, I've been self-employed. Yes, I've been involved in lots of different industries and lots of different businesses. If I know now if I knew then what I know now, would I have done things very differently? Yeah, absolutely. But a lot of it for me was kind of that self-limiting belief, that being a people pleaser for a lot of it. And it's only the groups have been like therapy for me as much as the women have obviously got out of it what they've got out of it as well. And it was recognising that, do you know what, we're all the same. We might have different problems, but we're all going through the same shit and juggling all these plates. And and that's why we're so much more than just, let's come to just to promote our business, because it's nice to be in a room where people get you. And there is a lot of women out there that, struggling, self-limiting beliefs, or they're completely new to business, and you've got to switch that mindset, haven't you? We're not born entrepreneurs. We're not born with that entrepreneurial mindset. And somebody that's been in a corporate position where they're used to having a good salary and having the 9 to 5 and being told, like, right, these are your holidays, like, book your holidays when you go, to all of a sudden, you've got to be structured, you've got to be disciplined, you've got to have that motivation. It's a complete complete different ballgame. And obviously that's why so many businesses fail. It's about working on yourself constantly, which is kind of what I've done for the last 10 years. And I always say I am still a work in progress, because every day is a school day, isn't it? You're learning all the time. And for me, I didn't realise when I set up the Ladies Empowerment Circle the power of the community that it would create. And that's why we're very, very different than anything else out there.
Yeah. I mean, when we first, I think, I said it on Wednesday, it's like when I've got women's networking, and I'm just like, you want us to brand that? I'm like, am I even going to get this?
Yeah.
And then when I come down, I'm just like, oh my God, what a feeling. These women just lifting each other up.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it sounds so cliche kind of when I say it in my head, but it is literally that. The vibration in that room, everybody just like really wanting to uplift each other. Businesses, it's kind of purpose, people, profit.
100%.
Isn't it?
100% that way. Yeah, definitely in that order. Yeah, 100%. I think the business is the byproduct. Yeah. It's the default. It's everything else first. It's that.
Well, listen, I've been into other networking meetings, and no matter what people say, look, it's about connection and stuff like that. It's not. It's always about profit first. Yeah. It's always about business first. No matter what they say.
Of course it is.
But Covem's not.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
And the people who come for that, like we said before, the hunters, they don't last.
They don't stay. They come, and they're very transactional. They want transactional networking. They want to see who's on the attendee list, and can they be of any use to me? They are not our type of people.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, Tim. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I don't want those type of people. We want people first and foremost that obviously it's all about. One of my strap lines is turn strangers into friends, friends into family. And it's those three processes, and 100% that is what's happened. A group of strangers have all built this friendship that then this community, this family, where we've all got each other's backs, is just incredible. And it's the knock-on effect of how much business people get, not just people like being in that room. It's like even on Facebook, on a community group, we've got a lady in our group that, say for example, is an accountant, and somebody puts a Facebook post out on a community group. Does anybody locally know a good accountant? I am not joking. Hundreds of our ladies will all jump on that post because they've got that relationship with the lady in that room that's an accountant. So by default, she's got all this extra business from a complete stranger. And that's the power of community. Yeah, 100%. And definitely the price point. It's not been done before. And this is why I think we've been so successful, because I know with the ladies that come to my group, one of the main problems was, oh God, I really want to go networking more, but it's like 20 quid. I really want to go once a week, but it's like 20 quid, 25 quid, 30 quid. In a month I've spent 100, 120 quid. I haven't got that type of, particularly if you've got like more of a side hustle business or a part-time business that you're trying to grow. So we fill that gap. We fill that gap for people that they don't come once a week. I run 3 groups in Bolton a month, but obviously we've got 14 franchises around the north and the northwest, so people can dip in and out of anybody's group they want to go and meet different people. And that's the great thing. They might network 5 times a month and it'll cost them 25 quid, as opposed to 5 times a month, which might cost them 100, 150 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Out of all the things, I might put you on the spot here a little bit about that, but all the things, have you got like a story that's really sort of like connected with you, that somebody's like come down to Covem and kind of that's... I'm sure you've got loads but I wondered if there were a couple, I've got a couple of clients, you just kind of just hit home with you, just like, this is the reason that I'm doing this.
Yeah. One thing massively, and I think you'll have experienced a little bit of it, Tim, when you came to the group on Wednesday. We have one girl that unfortunately passed away last year. She's only a young girl, young mum, went to uni, built her own business. She was wonderful. And she started coming to my groups probably about 2 years ago. So she wasn't right from the beginning. She'd heard about it and started coming to the groups. And literally, I can honestly say, when that girl walked in the room, she lit the room up with her energy was amazing. And she was battling cancer. And what was thrown at her and things that had gone wrong in her cancer treatment. And she suddenly passed away. It was a year ago on Wednesday, which was really fitting that we did the brand reveal. Anyway, we embarked on a fundraising because she's got 2 young children and a husband that had obviously having to take all that time off work to look after her. The support, the level of support, and I think predominantly in our community, we raised something like £40,000 to be able to like help her, try and obviously get her to go to Germany for some pioneering cancer treatment. That didn't end up happening. She passed away before, but to carry on her legacy with her business and then obviously, give some money to her children. When that happened and all this money started flooding in and all these women just did whatever they could, fundraising events to raise money, it was like, oh my God, that is special. That is special. Even ladies...
Have you sat with that? Have you sat with that?
I've cried a lot about that, Tim, to be honest, because she really had a huge impact on me. She was such a resilient girl. Even though she's not here, she's passed away and won loads of awards for her courage and her resilience. And yeah, that's one thing that I have sat with because I just thought, wow. It's like, oh my word, that is... Could have never, ever have imagined that power of these people that we've brought together that have gone on to, even people that had never actually met her, that had started to come into the group. It was this community of like, I need to help, what can we do? We need to support this local family in Bolton. And it was just wow. So that's one of a few. We've had a lot of tears. We've had ladies going through cancer treatments. And coming to us and obviously running a business, then being diagnosed with cancer, and we've had a lot of tears, but they've got the support of everybody, and it's just, you can't bottle that, can you? But it's special. It's really special.
Again, it sounds a bit like a cliche, doesn't it? Yeah. But like until you felt it, really felt it.
Yes.
Because something I was thinking about the other day, I think it might have been this morning, it's just like, I'm grateful for being able to feel grateful. Yeah. And what I mean by that is people can just say that I'm grateful and it's just in your head, but I can feel it in my body. Yeah. And if you've never felt that before, that's what real gratitude is, that you can feel it within your body. And when you're at Covem, you can fucking feel that.
That's right. You're so right. Definitely.
Cliche is just but that.
Yeah.
Innit?
Yeah. It's like, I still have to kind of pinch myself. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, Tim. I've got this mission that I really want to impact women.
But you've already done that.
But I think there's so much more to do.
Yeah, of course there is.
There's so much more to do.
You're fucking impacted a lot.
But we're getting there,
But what is getting there?
I just feel, even in my hometown, I was born and bred in this hometown of Bolton, and I still feel there is so many women that we can really help that don't even know about us yet. And it's needed. What we do is needed because there is so many people that have got more than one income stream. So they might have a job that they really don't like, but they've started this side business. Well, you need to come and be part of our community. Let's help you get visible. Let's support you. Let's get you around. The flipping experts that we have in that room of ladies, we've got access to everything. Everybody's services, accountants, HR people, you name it, we've got it. And it's incredible. But I just still think we've got so much more to do. But at the root of it, it's keeping it personal. It's not becoming a machine that, is running away with me. It's keeping it personal. And, I'm very much about, I know it's awkward. I know networking's really icky and it can be awkward. And particularly for women, walking into a room and everybody looks at you. I don't want that. I want to, get rid of all those myths and experiences that people have had to deal with. Networking. I'm a relatively confident person, Tim, and I've walked into rooms and I've thought, what the hell am I doing in this room? This is bloody awful.
That certain amount of bitchiness.
Oh my God, I can't do it. Yeah. If anything ever got back to me about anything, it would be stamped on immediately because it's not on. There's enough out there for everybody. I come from a place of abundance, not scarcity. If I have 10 yoga teachers in the group, which I've had, if I have 5 accountants, doesn't matter. Please come because people buy people, don't they? There's enough out there for everybody. And that's my philosophy. definitely. But I still think we've got more to do. There's ladies that need us that don't know about us. But thanks to you, obviously, that's changing, isn't it?
It's definitely
because we've got
changing.
that message right now.
Would you talk to me a little bit about Mark, mate?
Yeah.
If that's all right.
He's it's funny because a lot of the ladies have said to me, has your husband actually been to one of your groups? Well, of course he's not, because obviously he's a man, but he's my biggest cheerleader. We have so much in common. He's my rock. Obviously, we exercise together. We have a lot of the same passions, the same interests. And I wanted him to be there on Wednesday just to experience what I do, because I work a lot in the evening when I'm at home, and he's constantly listening to what I'm doing or conversations. So him to witness it firsthand was and I could see he was getting quite emotional and quite choked up, because he's quite an emotional guy.
Again, until you've been down to it and felt it.
Yeah.
I could see him feeling it.
Yeah.
It's all right, you're just saying it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Without Mark in your life, mate, what happens to Sarah without that anchor?
It's funny you should say that, Tim, because obviously Mark's my second husband. I've been previously married, first marriage, obviously then I was in a really long-term relationship. Both of them didn't work out. Both of them very much. And I think this is why Ladies Empowerment Circle or Covem is so
both
special.
of them abusive narcissists.
Yes, very much narcissistic. Completely different ways, but both narcissistic. Both successful businessmen in their own right, but both very...
What do you think it is that you chose those people? Why did you... There was unresolved trauma within you that you were searching for that?
Do you know, it's funny because my mum and dad's marriage, unfortunately they both passed away now. My dad was 18 years older than my mum. And really, me and my sister growing up, particularly when we were older, used to say, really, they should have never have got married, because the age difference, they didn't really have a lot in common. And I look at my life and I think, I've repeated my mum and dad, because both my ex-husband and my ex-partner were older than me. They were older men with successful businesses. And I'm a very loyal person, and I've always wanted to put other people on a pedestal, shine that light for other people. That's what I do with the women in the group. But what I did, Tim, was I shone my light on those men to make them and their businesses super successful, which they were, but took the shine off me. And what I was doing in my self-employed role all of a sudden kind of deteriorated, because I was juggling lots of plates, being a mum, helping them with their businesses and being that rock for them. And I think very much me and Mark, we've been married nearly 11 years, the dynamic's different, because Mark lets me be me. I've worked on myself.
He's got such a lovely, calm, grounding energy. Yeah. And I'm like, with the way because me and you are very similar. You don't want two of them, do you?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And Mark just lets me be me.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm doing. He knows I'm good at what I'm doing. He's my sounding board, but he's my biggest champion. Without him wanting to be on this pedestal of, it's all been about him. And that's why it works so well, where previously it's always been all about them. And if I've gone on to do something in my business, I suppose really there's been that air of jealousy. Well, like the limelight's off them, and I'm the one that's kind of propping them up. And all of a sudden the roles are reversed now, where Mark's my biggest champion, but he's very much behind the scenes.
So what happened to you then? Because obviously you've been attracting these narcissists, and what's it? How did Mark come? Did you do work on yourself, and then which allowed Mark in?
It's a really bizarre story, this, Tim, and it's the universe. So, my first husband had a gym, and Mark, my present husband, was a competing sprinter. He was a competing sprinter, always looked after himself, very much into nutrition. But he's always had, obviously there's no money in athletics in this country, so he's always had a corporate position in business travel, in corporate travel. But when we had a gym in Bolton, it was the biggest gym in Bolton, long before your David Lloyd or any big commercial gyms existed. And Mark
came... What was it called?
It was called MKM.
MKM.
Back in the 80s, early 90s, it was like the place for kind of our age group to all hang out. It was kind of a spit and sawdust gym, but a damn good gym. And it was really, really well known. And Mark, obviously with his background in fitness and nutrition, and he was training all the time, came to us for a job. He wanted to be a fitness instructor a couple of nights a week to earn some extra money to kind of fund his athletics career. So he did. So in essence, Tim, 20 odd years ago, when we were early 20s, 30 odd years ago, I was his boss. So he worked for us.
Still are.
I was married. Yes, still am. I was married and Mark worked for us. And then that was that. He moved away to Wales, obviously settled down with somebody in Wales, moved away, never saw him again. And it was only when I came out of my relationship that all of a sudden, we all had the same friends, we lived in the same town, we went to different schools, but we're the same age and we knew all the same people. I connected with him on Facebook and he messaged me to say, oh, hi Sarah, how are you? You know, and we got chatting and he said, oh, like he's still with your husband? No, that was a long time ago.
Go on, Mark, he's putting the groundwork in.
Next time I'm down in Manchester, let's meet up and have a coffee. And that's what we did. We were friends. And he'd gone through similar to me. Failed relationships, being the same age, thinking, am I actually going to settle down? So that friends going for coffee turned into, we started dating. And then next minute, obviously, we got married. And he said to me, do you know, all those years ago when we were in our early 20s, I should have married you then. But obviously, he was in a relationship, I was married, and it just never happened. So somehow the universe brought us back together, but we're very different people now. I've worked on myself a lot. One of the things that I did, Tim, years and years ago, and I still do a little bit of it, is I partnered with an online network marketing health and wellness brand. So I'm always passionate about supplements and, you know, taking protein, etc. So I partnered with an online health and wellness brand. And people used to say to me, it's personal development in a box. It's not about selling products. It's what you will get that will make you the person that you are. And they are notorious in the industry. It's a global brand that they are probably the best for personal development out there. And I went all over the place to America on conferences, listening to big speakers that they paid for you to listen to, the likes of Mel Robbins and lots of amazing speakers. And that's where my personal development journey, probably 10, 12 years ago, started. Before that, you would have never have got me reading a book, listening to a podcast, you know, nothing. And it was that I believe very much that what I learned from working on myself through how we were taught running a network marketing business has absolutely got me to where I am now with Ladies Empowerment Circle, because I look at the lessons I learned from there and I absolutely transition it into what I do in my business. So even though network marketing does get a bit of a bad press sometimes, the personal development side of it 100% put me on this road. And obviously, that was the start when me and Mark kind of first started dating. So I kind of grew into this person, you know, by working on myself, reading, listening to podcasts. And
because you're doing that, you were ready. The frequency was there, and then obviously Mark's ready.
Yeah, definitely.
Law of attraction,
and he lets me
universe,
be me. Yeah, he's not dampening my light, which I'd always had. There was always this, Lord, it's all about me, it's the ego. It was all about them and their businesses. And I was like the little wife in the background, really trying to make something for myself and be successful. But it was like I took the foot off the gas with my business to make them super successful. And they were in their own right, you know. And I thought, do you know what? I see that in a lot of the women. It's like the business sometimes is not the priority because they've got so many other things going on, and it's being able to manage that
balance.
Yeah, and it's getting
Talk to me about the personal development then. Obviously, you do the coaching, and I can only imagine how fucking amazing that is, mate. Is that what you're doing within your
and
coaching?
It's something
so you do one-to-one coaching, don't you? Yeah.
So really what I see is, and I have a lot of coaches, Tim, come to the group, and I don't know if I like the word coach because I'm very nuts and bolts, I'm very nitty gritty, and I'm your Mrs. Motivator. I have women that come to me that have got a business and they've no clarity. They don't know what they're doing. They've got all these ideas in their head. They've got family life going on. It was like, oh my God, I don't know where to start. And it's like, right, We're not talking jargon. Let's get it out on the table. Let's write it all down. We'll do a bit of mind mapping. We might draw a picture. Let's get it all down. And let's get 3 kind of things that we can move forward in the short term, in like the first 12 weeks. And then I'm their accountability buddy. I'll drop them a message, right, come on, how are we going on? So I see myself as a bit of a motivator for these women.
Well, is that not a coach, or have you just got a bad thing because there's that many coaches now?
I think it's just because there's that many coaches all doing different things. And don't get me wrong, if I see a lady that I might work with that I really see she needs something more specific, we have got an amazing group of coaches that I say, actually, been brilliant working with it. You really need to now have a conversation with them. So I'm like their first protocol, if that makes sense. Yeah. And that's how I look at it. And they leave saying, I mean, Sarah, I feel like I conquer the world when I've had a session with you, because I kind of know where I am. I've just emptied my head of all the noise and just kind of got a bit more clarity. And that's what I'm good at. That's really what I'm good at. There are other coaches within our group that might go down a more specific route, but I'm good at, right, let's get it on the table, let's be real, no jargon, and tell me where you're at. Both with your business and sometimes, obviously, your personal life comes into it as well. So I love that. And I do that either one-to-one. I'm a people person, so I love face-to-face. But obviously, as we grow, we have got different people at the other side of the country. That's not always possible. So I do, obviously, one-to-ones over Zoom. But I also do something called the support circle. And the support circle, I do generally 2 a month, and we do them in Bolton. And that is face-to-face, where we have a group of up to 6 women round a table and we brainstorm.
So that's a programme that you've put together, specific, right?
What I've done now, Tim, and this is
so it's more of a
you.
Masterclass.
Yes.
Right, okay.
But just 6 women, so it's not overwhelming.
But you can still be personal with each one, right?
And they all bring stuff to the table,
Amazing.
which I love. But what I've done now, and I haven't actually told you about this, moving forward now, because we Covem, I was thinking, I lay in bed thinking about it, and I'm thinking, I really need to upscale this, the way I do the support circle. So what we've done is I have taken the word Covem, and we are using the 5 values of Covem, the C, the O, the V, the E, the M, and every support circle I do, we cover a different letter. Amazing. So C is all about celebrate who you are. Very so come on, from a business perspective, what does that look like? Right, come on, this is our session today. And the sessions are an hour and a half when we do a small group. They're an hour if it's a coaching. But using the
so it's like a
values,
5-step programme.
100%.
Love it.
Yeah, so that is like November. That's what I want to do more of, using the name Covem and the values, and that's what we're doing in our coaching. So that's something that's new, that's coming out.
Banging.
So I'm excited for that. Yeah, definitely.
You talked about Gemma quite a bit, mate, on WhatsApp. I didn't know how sort of integral she was. Can you talk a little bit about Gemma for me?
So one thing, when I first started in business at 19, people call me Winnie the Pooh, Tigger. You're like Tigger, you, Sarah. You're doing everything, 100 mile an hour, trying to do everything. You realise, don't you, Tim, that you know what you're good at, and you know where your energy is, and you know where you work best. If I'd have known that when I was a very naive 19-year-old in business, I would have probably been in a different position than I was then. But Gemma first started coming to my group when I first started running Bolton as a VA. Obviously, doing virtual assistant, admin, bits of social media. Gemma has been on a journey herself, and she has a huge team of VAs across the country now.
Amazing.
And obviously all different skill sets, different specialities. And I've been working, when I got to the point that I thought, actually, this is kind of a bit more than like a side hustle. This is a business for me. I obviously spoke to Gemma, and tech, admin, back office is not my thing. I'm a people person, and I realised I needed procedures and policies and everything. And then when we started franchising, we needed contracts, and all those needed going out. So Gemma is my absolute wing woman, that she does everything that I literally just drains me energy because I haven't got the brain space or the skill set to do that. And I very much believe it's outsourcing what you're not good at. And I know when women are in business, first and foremost, you start and think, well, I actually can't afford to be paying to do that. And that was me. And you still have to be careful, but when you know you can afford to be able to outsource something that would take all that pressure and time off you for me to focus on what I'm good at, she makes my life so easy. Yeah, so easy. And like you, Tim, branding. I didn't even know when I first came to you, rebrand, what does that mean? Do I just get a name? Do I just get a new logo? It was so much more than I ever expected. And you realise, don't you, surround yourself with experts that lift you up. So working with you guys, I've 100% done that. Working with Gemma, 100% done that. And then obviously I've got Leanne, who does a lot of kind of bits of socials and stuff, and more graphic design and stuff that she's done with the other franchisees. That's her stuff. You know, and it's like, if I hadn't got those people, we wouldn't be where we are. And, you know, I always say within my groups, I'm the facilitator. Yes, I bring the energy. Yes, I bring everything. But we all have our part to play because we all have created what we've got. And I want to surround myself with people that aspire me and inspire me to like, right, okay, we can do this. So Gemma, in a way, for me, has been like my coach. I'll back things backwards and forwards to her, and she's like, oh, Sarah, have you thought about this? Yeah. And
you know one of your best traits since knowing you is that you're not stubborn. No. You're not stuck in your ways. No. You've always got this like a white belt mentality that you're always constantly learning. Yeah. And honestly, mate, I love that about you. You're taking it all in and just like you'll never say no to it. You know what I mean? No.
And they always say, don't they? If somebody offers you an opportunity, say yeah. I can't tell you, Tim, through starting the Ladies Empowerment, which is obviously now called Covem, the opportunities that I've been offered. Yeah. Like
that abundance.
Yeah. Like
mindset.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The things that have come into me. Yes, I'll do it, you know. And my mentality is a bit, rightly or wrongly, done is better than perfect. Do something and like, come on, just get out and do it.
It's my world, you know,
be thick. Just get it out there. Stop flipping procrastinating, just do it. But every day, and I say this to my son obviously new in business, he's got his own gym, and I'll say, you know, you're failing forward every day. Don't ever look at, you know, there's a lesson in everything. Don't ever look at, oh my God, this, just learn all the time. That's what it's about. Every day is a school day, you know, and I was 19 and made the most horrendous mistakes in my business. But I bring all that to the table now in what I do, because I've been there. In every scenario of every situation, personally and business, that's been me. So when women say, oh, I'm going through this issue, oh my God, I've been there. So definitely.
Talk to me about the worst part of marketing in Covem, which is the 60-second pitch for people, which every motherfucker dreads, no matter who you are, right? And what happens to people in that 60 seconds? Obviously, they can see people talking, and then as it gets round to you, I'm just like...
I know.
Like that.
I always say...
And then you get up and you're just like...
I know.
See ya!
I know. I say very much in our groups, if you don't want to say 60 seconds, you don't have to. You know, please don't sit there absolutely sweating thinking, oh my God, it's coming round to me. If you don't, and I have ladies that come just to listen to everybody else, because I just want to be inspired. So
you help people with that 60 second, don't you, with the coaching? Really important, get your messaging clear, beginning, middle, end.
Yeah, and we have a journal, a networking journal, and also it helps them kind of underpin those, how to break down your 60 seconds. So we have that in a journal, but we do it, we've done like a couple of workshops of like, come on, let's master this 60 seconds. Because you've got people that kind of spill it all out in like 20 seconds and just are so relieved to sit down. And then you've got other people that like 10 minutes later, it's like, you know, we have to rein them in. Yeah. They're not clear on the messages. And to be honest, Tim, there is so much room for improvement still within all our groups that ladies need to nail it better.
Because that, just even getting that pitch right will help on the website and help on social media, won't it? Just that clear elevator pitch.
Definitely, yeah. And we have a lot of fumbling and a lot of ladies getting, oh my God, you know.
But it's all right to be like that, isn't it?
Of course it is. Yeah. And I'm very much about speaking from the heart.
Yeah.
It's not having this like, oh, let's get my script out and let's read from my piece of paper. Say it how it is.
That's the problem though, when we're talking about the sort of head and the heart coherence, it's like people are up here and I'm like, just get in here and just sort from there, like whatever happens.
That's
it's
it.
like...
Yeah, because people, when you're showing that air of vulnerability, and oh my God, I have stood up in my groups and I've been really vulnerable. If I'm going through shit or something's happened, or particularly with my backstory, I'm honest about it. I'm open and honest about it. People respect you for being vulnerable, and you've got to speak from the heart, not the head.
What you said, backstory?
Yeah, my backstory of like, you know, my previous marriages, my previous failings in the business world. That backstory has made me the person that I am today, that I 100% can resonate with ladies that walk in that room. Because I know what they've been through. We've all been through it. Different degrees, a lot of divorcees, for example, that might come. Or
That backstory is actually help you stand up with your back.
And when I look back at my life and I think, oh my God, you know, what I've gone through and, you know, the issues I've gone through, and like, oh, you're not really resentful about things that have happened to you in your life. Absolutely no, because that's the journey I'm on to where I am now. In my mid-50s, it's like, no, because I wouldn't be the person I am. My daughter, bless her, I've got 3 kids. My daughter's my eldest, she's 28, and she says to me the other day, and I said, do you know what? I'm on to my 2nd book now. I'm going to put that in. And she said, Mum, God sends the hardest battles to its strongest soldiers. And I thought, yeah, because I've been through quite a lot of battles, but I'm strong, I'm resilient, I can cope with it. Yeah. And that's what it's about. It's about, you know, learning. You're presented battles, you know, and you overcome them and get on with them, don't you? But it makes you a better person, makes you more resilient. Yeah. I speak to ladies a lot about eating that frog. There's a book called Eat That Frog. Doing the shit
big thing,
that you flipping hate doing first. Because you feel amazing when you've done it, and then everything else is a breeze. I'm an early morning person, Tim. Yeah. Not everybody is. I get that. I'm up. Me and my husband, we're up 4:30. We're leaving for the gym 5:30. We're in the gym. That sets me up for the day. You know, that mental clarity. I'm exercising. I'm listening to a podcast or a book on Audible or something that sets me up for the day. That's my thing. It's not everybody's, but I know. You know, I've learned to. I'm working on myself. Every day is a school day. I'm learning lessons. I'm listening to other people's opinions, younger and older. And yeah, that's what it's about.
What is the biggest thing you've learned out of all the personal development? What's the one thing that's really hit home with you, like that, you know, that we could sort of pass on to someone to kind of go, look, this is something you should be thinking about. Yeah,
for me, gratitude is huge.
Right.
I would have never have ever thought...
But proper feeling it, mate, like we
feeling
said.
it, not just saying it or having a note. I mean, I've done all that as well. Saying it out, all right, practice your gratitude every day. Saying it out loud. Write your gratitude in a gratitude journal. You're writing it quick because you've got another job to do. Yeah. Proper feeling grateful and feeling gratitude. And how, when you've got that feeling... things are just completely different for you. Practicing gratitude probably is my biggest one for me. Yeah.
The one I do is when I'm doing gratitude, what I'll do is I'll do the sort of like hands, and what I'll do is I'll touch my heart, and what it does is it lets my body actually feel where I'm going to feel gratitude like that. Yeah. And then once you do that and then say the thing, it kind of goes up to your brain then, and you just get a sense of.
Yeah, love that.
You've got to connect to your body, haven't you?
Definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, it has. It's you know, the whole personal development, working on yourself is massive. I'm going away on holiday next week, and I know I need to decompress and empty my head. But for me, taking some books, taking some podcasts, obviously audios, I come back with so much clarity. And I say this to the ladies. You're constantly in your business, working in your business, and sometimes you've got to take that step back and breathe and look and reflect on where you've come, and then all of a sudden you get these sparks of like, oh my God, that's so clear now.
Yeah, the downloads.
Yes, I love it, and it's just, can see it clear. And I'm guilty of that, Tim. I have to take the step back and get out of that hustle and get out of that noise and just say, come on, Sarah, and just appreciate and just take that time to reflect. Yeah.
How long can you be in that reflection mode without it? You kind of looking at it, get back on it.
I know. I don't know. A good hour. I could say a good hour. We went to Jamaica. I'm going on holiday to Jamaica. We went to Jamaica last year, and honestly, I love the vibe.
Yeah.
Caribbean, Jamaican people, they are just so chilled, and it's the best experience ever of just being on the beach, by the sea, listening to the waves, and just, this is just fab. Switching off, being in nature. And I say to the ladies in the group, just slightly changing the subject, I've always, and again, I suppose this is a lot of conditioning with me, it's like, to be successful, you have to be earning lots of money. That was always, money equals success. For me, it doesn't. I'm not the wealthiest person in the world, no, but my life now and the life me and Mark have is absolutely perfect in the sense that I work hard when I'm here, but I live here 4 days a week, and the other 3 days a week we have we love American cars, American trucks. I have an American car, Mark has an American truck, and we have an American RV. So it's like a huge kind of static caravan with like electric sliders, but it's permanently sited in Kirby Lonsdale. So 3 days every week, we get the dog with her. We're in Kirby Lonsdale, we're in the countryside, we go into the lakes, we walk in, we have a cold pod up there, we're cold water dipping, we're out like on our bodyboards when the weather's out. That is success for me because I've developed my business where
you've got a choice to do that.
Yeah, that's success for me, Tim. It's like, I'm not working 12 hours a day, 5 days a week to be told when I can have an holiday, to be told when I can go on the toilet. My life, my business fits my life, and that's success.
Yeah, man.
I might not earn all the money in the world, but we have that amazing life balance.
What truck has Mark got?
Dodge Ram.
Has he?
Dodge Ram.
Mark,
it's huge.
Come on, mate.
Take me
out.
We used to do a lot of American shows. I used to have a Californian Mustang. Beautiful. I've got a Lincoln now. We drive, obviously both left on drive, which is an art if you're not used to driving left on drive.
I've got a pickup. I just love it.
I love a pickup. Love it. Yeah.
So if there's any women listening to this, mate, well, what advice could you give these? Because they're like small business, very alone. Yeah. Isn't it? It's in a lonely place, isn't it?
Very. I would say 100%. Come and join us.
It's a fucking $5.
It's a $5. What have you got to lose? My philosophy: you will leave feeling better than you did when you arrived. 2 hours of your day for a $5. It's being in business for women is a lonely place. Even if you've got a client base, you're on your own. Get in a room with amazing women that make you feel good and lift you up for a $5. Networking, what I've discovered, and it's really interesting, for those ladies that have transitioned from like a job, from the 9 to 5 being employed, nobody knows what networking is. Well, what's networking? Well, you've gone in a job and you've got your work to do every day, but actually networking is about selling you. But I don't like that word networking. It's
more of a community event, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what you're putting on.
100%. It's getting out there and, build those relationships. That's what it's about. Your business is not going to be seen if you're not getting yourself out there and connecting with people. And people buy people, don't they? Yeah. It's first and foremost about giving value. It's not about, right, when's my first sale coming?
Yeah.
And the amount of business, and I'm talking, Tim, big business that has come in our groups, that people have come to me, and that return on investment, they've paid a $5, and they've ended up with huge contracts or big orders in the business, whatever the business is. The return on investment for a $5, rather than joining a networking group that you might pay a couple of £1,000 for a year. I'm not saying that doesn't work, but we're just so much more than just like, let's hand out a business card and it's let's be transactional. No.
Yeah.
So it's emotional, isn't it? It's coming from that place of emotion, coming from the heart, getting out your head, bringing it into your heart.
How you're heading into your heart. Right, where can people find you? So just to reiterate, Sarah does coaching. Yeah, I can honestly recommend booking with Sarah for coaching. She's fucking amazing. She puts a spotlight on me so many times, it's ridiculous. I just want to put that out there. Where can people find you, mate?
So, all my socials, so obviously Sarah Hulme personally on Facebook. I connect with a lot of people personally on Facebook. You have just built our amazing website, which is obviously our Covem website, covem.co.uk. Instagram, Covem. Facebook, Covem. Yeah. LinkedIn, obviously either me, Sarah Hulme, or Covem. So, yeah.
I love you, mate.
Yeah, I love you too. Honestly,
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Amazing. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Marner, what, you're branding with the best.